welcome everybody. Today I'm here talking to Jerry Winata from Jakarta, and this is the GSN Spotlight series. And Jerry is a member of Seala, and I believe Jerry comes from Seala Class 7. How are you, Jerry?
6.
Seala 6.
Correct. 7 is about to start, not yet.
That's right, correct. So Seala 6 in Vietnam. So,
correct.
Welcome, Jerry, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. Maybe we could start off by you telling us briefly about yourself, who you are, and what do you do?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Faris, for giving me the spotlight. I'm not sure if I'm deserved of the spotlight, but thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, I'm very happy. I'm the latest addition to the Seala family member. I'm part of Seala 6. I'm very happy to be part of Seala family, and really, really happy that you introduced me to GSN. I think it's just an amazing platform, and really happy to be involved. A little bit about myself. At the moment, I'm running a non-profit foundation. It's focusing on several things, and mostly on forest conservation, marine conservation, and community development. What's special about this foundation is because it's closely affiliated to an eco-luxury resort in Indonesia. I dare to say it's quite unique, the resort, because it's in the middle of nowhere. And the focus on sustainability that's been such a centerpiece of the resort, making it very special. And the foundation plays a critical role in sort of like pushing forward all those sustainable practices and also sustainable ambitions that's been put forward by the resort. The name of the foundation is the Bawah Anambas Foundation, and the name of the resort is Bawah Reserve. It's located in the Anambas archipelago of Indonesia.
Wow, that is wonderful, and I must say I have also taken the time to take a look up the Bawah Reserve, and it's a beautiful place, paradise. Wonderful. You're working on foundation and actually building up the working on a conservation project, and it will be. And something I would maybe like to ask you is, how does this, on a domain of sustainability, define you, and what does that mean to you on a personal level?
So I've gone through several jobs obviously throughout my professional life, and I've been very fortunate that I've always been dabbling in like development sector. Not dabbling, sorry, I'm fully immersed in the development sector throughout my professional life, and I really enjoyed it. But I think what I'm doing now, not because this is my current job, but honestly, it has married two of my biggest passion. I was born and raised in Indonesia. Sure, I studied abroad for a bit and then came back to Indonesia. So I'm such a proud Indonesian. I love my country, and one of the things that I love the most is actually, love the most and make me sad at the same time, is how Indonesian tourism outside of Bali, it's so not talked about. And especially I've seen the development and the potential of tourism industry in Asia, and how it's such a double-edged sword. In one hand, tourism can bring such an amazing prosperity, potentially, but at the same time, it can jeopardize the environment and the social fabric. So what I'm doing now, it's not just a job for me. It's something that I truly love. I'm such a proud Indonesian. I would love to promote Indonesian tourism, but in the right way, in the way that it will not jeopardize the beauty of a country, in the way that tourism can serve the people, can serve the community and not impoverish the community. And beyond that, tourism that can last for generations, not just to be enjoyed in our generation. And then we did so much damage, and then our children and grandchildren cannot enjoy it anymore. So what I'm doing now goes beyond just a job for me. I mean, I'm blessed. I know that for a fact. I'm not oblivious. I'm so blessed to be able to do something that I'm not just passionate about, but actually I really enjoy.
Wow. I
Mm.
must say that is magical in your explanation of how you define tourism and how it should
Yeah.
be concerned,
Mm.
how the concern should for it should actually last for generations. And I'm sure the
Mm.
message that you're putting out about Indonesia and visiting Indonesia will go off to the viewers of this, and I hope that we will all have the opportunity to visit. Maybe something you could, if you could explain any specific projects that you're working on, Jerry,
Mhm.
right now that you might want to share with us.
Sure. Under the foundation, actually, we have several programs that's right up and running, but there are a couple that I would really like to highlight. The first one is that we're working very closely with the resort to do coral conservation. So we're doing active coral restoration. What's unique about it, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of like places that have been doing the same thing, but what's unique is like we're trying to engage our guests, like the guests that actually staying at the resort, to be able to do and experience a hands-on restoration and active restoration for corals. So we have like different types of diving where our guests will be diving with our marine biologists, and they can actually do like their own coral transplantation, and they can even adopt an artificial reef and things like that. So that's to me is such an important role that the foundation can play, so that the dream is that every single guest that we have, they might come to the resort for the luxury, they might come for the exclusivity, they might come for the relaxation and the massage, as we all do. But what I would love to do is like they go home having a higher understanding or awareness about coral restoration, about the environment, about the protection. So that's also the message, but without having to lecture them. So we would love for them to have like to be actively engaged and participate in some of the things that we're doing around the resort. So that's one of the projects that we're doing. The second one that's pretty cool actually is we are working directly with the fishermen, because 80% of the community rely their livelihood on fishing. But obviously fishing has depleted, so the income is really struggling. But the beautiful part is like when I went to the village, the first 2 months I was on the job, all I did is just like going from one village to another, traveling for 2 months and living with the villagers. It was like the best job ever. And then when I was hanging out with the villagers, I realized how fertile the land is. So we decided to build an organic farm. So we actually teaching 20 farmers 20 fishermen become farmers, organic farmers. Again, we never tell them not to fish. They've been doing it for generations. It's what they know, it's in their blood. But what we're trying to show is that there is an alternative way to make money and to earn livelihood without hurting the environment too much. So that's why we moved to the organic farm. We provide the training, we provide the facilities, we build the infrastructure, and beyond that, we're working closely with the resort so that 100% of the harvest is being bought by the resort. So our guests are enjoying fresh organic vegetables that's been grown by the farmers next to the next island. And as well as the staff of the resort has been enjoying beautiful, fresh organic vegetables that's been grown in the next island, grown by the farmers. So that's like some of the projects that how we tie in all this sort of like being environmentally conscious, being socially conscious. It doesn't mean it's going to hurt your bottom line.
Okay, we're recording again, and unfortunately, part of our conversation before got challenged because of connectivity. And coming back, I would really like to say, Jerry, thank you so much again for taking the time. And whilst we were talking, and it's such an engaging discussion, I feel so bad we had to take a break. It was so interesting listening to how you explained the foundation and how the foundation works independent from the actual the, the corporate entity, but still is in a lot of ways very much linked to the purpose of the organization and how that relates to the community. And as you were talking a little bit about the community and the work that you're doing, maybe you can continue. If I believe we have stopped at that part, which is on the whole idea of how the society integrates and the villagers.
Yeah, no, sure, absolutely. So I think I was explaining a little bit about like there are two elements. There's the resort element, which is the profit-making entity, and there's the foundation, which is the non-profit entity. And what the foundation has been doing is has been supporting the resort to propel their sustainability passion and also the sustainability objectives, and that includes also the empowering the local community. When we first started and how we engage, how the foundation actually tried to sort of like propel this work and try to engage the community more, because when the resort first opened, a lot of the people, the community, including the local government, are banging on our door, and they only have one thing in their mind, which is employment. Everybody wants to get a job at the resort, and that's fair. But what they tend to forget is that at the maximum capacity, we can only hire 200 people. There is no way, number one, there's no way we can employ 100% from the local community because of capacity, because of the type of service that we need to deliver, because lack of experience, and yada, 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 you name it. There is no way we can employ 100%. Even if we did, think about this, even if we did employ 100%, it's still 200 people out of 45,000 people. So it doesn't make sense to rely on resorts like us purely for employment. Now, what the foundation has been doing, or trying to do at least, we try to open the eyes of the management of the resort, as well as trying to give an understanding to the community and the local government that there is no way that, and not just to see the resort as a source of employment only. Think of the resort as a market. The resort have 200 staff that needs to be fed, that needs to, we need water, we need gasoline, we need tablecloth, we need a lot of things, we need food. So think of the resort as a market. So what we've been trying to do is like we've been trying to empower the community to develop different types of stuff and market it to the resort. A good example for this, so the foundation has been working very closely with a women's group as part of our women empowerment program to develop or to make good quality snacks. And now the resort is sourcing the snack that's been given to the guests from the local community. So we've been making like banana chips, we've been making cassava chips, we've been making fish crackers and like different type of local snacks they're delicious. But we elevated using like a better way of cooking, for example, better sanitation, better food preparation. And now the resort is sourcing this stuff from the local community. But they never thought of that before. They always think of the resort as a source of employment. So the foundation is just trying to sort of like highlight or open their eyes to new opportunities and things like that. And now the community and the government start thinking of the resort is not just a source of employment, but they've been calling me. It's like, hey, I have this beautiful batik clothes, for example. Do you think I can sell it to the resort? And they're thinking, they're thinking in the right way now, because now they're thinking the resort is a market. So that's what we've been trying to do. And that's when the actual sustainability, when it comes to the social issue, really start to happen. It's not enough. It's not good enough anymore for a business or a local business or business to just throw money to build school. It's not good enough, because that's not empowerment. That's just basically throwing money at a building. And who's going to teach? So I'm not saying that building schools is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But it should be. We should ensure that the school is fully functional and fully operational. Fully, there's an actual benefit that will create an impact. So every single thing every single program that the foundation is doing is we want to make sure two things, actually. We always ask ourselves two things. Number one, is it scalable? Can we expand this program and implement it elsewhere or make it bigger to serve more people? That's number one. Number two, can we get out? Can we leave the program and the program is still running without us supporting it? So those are the two questions that we always ask ourselves. So yeah, that's pretty much how. So good example, and just an example of how the foundation can work with a profit entity, and to ensure is helping the business making profit.
Jerry, it amazes me how you have been able to navigate both the society and resort management in driving this whole initiative. And it's also fascinating by the default model that you have built of how this as a business model may facilitate both ends of the community and also the commercial purpose. And I believe our viewers and the larger network, and I'm sure a lot of us, we have some members in ecotourism, will also be able to have some learning from this call. Maybe you could also tell us a little bit about yourself personally, Jerry. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Yeah, well, at the moment it is it's very difficult for me to separate my work life and my vacation, because my work. Okay, your viewers or the viewers might hate me for saying this, but I spend most of my work like lying on the beach. So, or like going diving and exploring like different islands. So it's almost like it's almost like vacation almost, and I really enjoyed it too. But I do love diving. I do love outdoor activities, and I do have some like borderline unhealthy obsession with food. Like I love food. So thank God. I mean, I thank God my job requires me to be quite active. So that's kind of like how I offset it a little bit, but I'm not blessed with like any good metabolism. So I will go anywhere. I will not go anywhere without my running shoes. I always have my running shoes with me, just to try to like keep moving and try to have a active life. And but yeah, what I like to do on my free time is actually doing a lot of outdoor activities, whether it's hiking or snorkeling or scuba diving or running or yeah.
Wow, wonderful learning about you, Jerry, and what you do. And it was a good perspective into how sustainability is a core part of your work. And to everyone, it has been a wonderful call. And I think Jerry is based in Jakarta and regularly to and from the Anambas island. And I hope we have also a time to visit your island, Jerry. Thank you very much, and appreciate you joining us for the call.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Faris, for the opportunity. And I will be shameless to promote come to Indonesia, and I will show you great time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.